Welcome back to Building the Brand with Sheldon and Nathan. We have got a special edition right now because of a question that was asked that was going to be too long to include in a regular podcast episode, and that's a good thing. The question was, what are our values and how are you looking for them to be shown at work? Nathan, run us through the values and then let's discuss.
Our 4 core values are humble, hungry, kind, and confident. And you're going to hear us say those 4 words a lot more this year than we ever have before. Humble, hungry, kind, confident. So let's start with humble. And what does humble mean and what are we looking for? Humble is putting the needs of the team first. It's taking ownership when there's issues. It's taking the blame. It's finding a way to make it your fault so you can fix it, and it's passing credit on to your team, your co-workers, up, down, across the chain of command. Humble is putting other people before you.
In so many businesses, you hear about sales versus ops, sales versus marketing, operations versus finance, and that is the opposite of what we're looking for with humble. With humble, it's realizing that yes, we all have different micro goals, but in the end, we only have one goal, and that is for us as one huge team to win. And it takes humility to realize that. And it's also knowing that there's something that I can learn from everyone. If I've been here 10 years and there's somebody who's been here 2 years, I can learn something from them.
Exactly, and this is not and never will be a zero defect organization. What's that mean? We're gonna mess up. We understand mistakes are going to happen, things aren't going to go perfectly. We just want to know about issues so we can solve them. And humility is saying, hey, over here, I have an issue. I caused it, or at least I should have seen it coming. And look, I don't know what to do about it right now. I have a couple ideas. Let's talk through it. That's going to be rewarded, not punished, because that's humility, the number 1 core value.
Absolutely. And it's being able to, once you've talked through that issue, you can say, I can see where I was wrong, and here's what I've learned from it so I don't do it again.
That will build a stellar culture, and overall, we will win together if we take that attitude. And we see it going down, we see it happening, and it's the number 1 core value.
Yeah, humble doesn't mean sitting there going like, oh, I'm nothing, I'm useless. That's not what it means. What we just said is what being humble is, isn't it?
Absolutely. So let's move on to the second one, which is hungry. Hungry means you're always looking to do more or do better or help somebody else. And do more doesn't have to mean, oh, I want to get promoted. Oh, I want to get a different job. It can mean, hey, I love what I'm doing, but I'm going to look for a way to do it a little bit better. When it's time for lunch, but I'm 98% done this thing, I might just finish it. And I'll just keep looking, hey, how can we do better? And it's going to be really tough to be legitimately hungry without being humble, or if you are, it's probably going to be offensive to somebody around you. But when you combine the two and you're looking to get better all the time, crazy efficient, crazy productive, and crazy fun to be around.
Yeah, so like you just said, hungry without humility is selfish. What we'll find as we go through all 4 of these core values is that they're incredibly intertwined. You almost can't single one out.
Yeah, if you only have one of the 4, you're actually not going to be a good culture fit. Mm-hmm. But when we get all 4, and we certainly have a lot of people that do, it just makes a great team player.
Another thing of being hungry is maybe I've finished up what I'm doing for the day or for the week, and I still got 40 minutes spare. Look at another department and be like, hey, do you need help? What can I do to help you hit your goal for the week?
Yep.
So it's the opposite of saying, that's not my job.
Yeah, you could never use those words and live out the core value of hungry. It's, hey, that's not in my job description, but I see that's going to help the team. I'm all in. That's what hungry is.
Hungry is also realizing that goals are not stop signs. So just because I've hit my goal doesn't mean I should stop for the day or the week or the month, but it's if I'm hungry, I'm going to see how far past that goal I can get.
Yeah, like we're not going to look at, say, industry standard is 10%. We're doing 12. Cool. We're doing 12. How could we get to 25? Like we're looking to go bigger, a faster trajectory. And if everybody's thinking that way, only good things can happen.
Exactly. On to the next one.
Kind. So kind is, of course, just being nice to be around, being a fun person to be around. That could be the demeanor when you come into the office. That could be the way you meet and greet and talk to employees, or co-workers. It's also giving people feedback that they need. So maybe you're in a position where you're doing performance reviews. It's not kind to say 100% across the board, you're good to go, awesome. When you actually have this, hey, a little bit of help could be used over here. You're better off to have the conversation and help that person. And so kind is not all high fives and pats on the back, but it's also it's certainly not being rude or direct in a way that's offensive.
Yeah. Actually, Pat in HR had a good phrase about that one day when we were going over the values. She was saying, if you know that someone could improve and you know how they can improve, it is unkind to not let them know.
That's spot on.
You might feel like, oh, you're being nice, you're protecting them and, letting them feel good about themselves, but if they're hungry and if they're humble, they're going to want to know how they can be better.
It's really career limiting for anybody to hold that information back, because that prevents that person from growing. And it's also career limiting to the person that's not getting that information because they need it to improve. And so it's only kind to share it.
Yeah, kind is literally as simple as greeting your coworkers with a smile, answering the phone with a smile. If there's somebody taking a tour of the factory, greeting them with a smile. It's like, I might not have the foggiest clue who they are, what they're doing, but welcome, we're glad you're here.
And that's so powerful. We bring a lot of people through here now. It could be a new recruit, it could be a banker, a vendor, a customer, whoever. When they step into the office, they step into the factory, and they're going to feel kind if it's there. They're going to know if that value is being lived out within 5 minutes, right?
Oh, absolutely. We just had recently a group of business people from Redwood County, just a networking group that was touring local businesses come through, and they were impressed. Yeah. They were really impressed when they toured the facilities, and that makes me feel so good to know that people from outside the organization can just show up and look around and leave going, they're a squared away bunch.
Excellent.
Confident.
So confident is believing that more is possible, believing that we can do better, believing in the team around us, and knowing that we will execute on these big growth goals that we have, on getting better, believing that we can do it.
And it's being open to things that you don't feel up to. So it's like, maybe that is way over my head, but I'm willing to get started. Because believe me, I sure as heck felt like that when we tried to build a brand new e-commerce site from the ground up. It's like, I don't have the foggiest idea how to do it.
Yeah.
But we can hire some people that do, and I can work with them, and we can do it, and we did it.
So confident is seeing a problem, because we're all going to have issues, and thinking, okay, we have a challenge. Like the world is not ending. We have a challenge. We're going to find a way to overcome this thing. Like we can't go look in the handbook or Google it. Like this is an issue that's unique to us right now. There's no obvious decision. There's no obvious solution. Well, we get whoever needs to be involved, and we make the best decision we can with the information at the time and go on. That's confidence, and it is super powerful.
We were just talking about it this morning. Business is really just finding the next problem and fixing it.
And that's the case for anybody in business at any job, right?
Heck, that's being an adult.
That's kind of life.
But that's the thing, it's just like, there's gonna be things that come up, big problems, little problems, and sometimes you're tempted to just throw your hands up in the air and say, well, I guess it's over. But that's not confident. Confidence just taking that massive, overwhelming, mind-numbing problem and breaking it down into a bunch of tiny little bite-sized pieces that it turns out you can fix every one of those little pieces, and then the big problem's gone.
Yeah, and when you make that decision, you're not expected to always get it all right? Like that confidence is that, hey, we're gonna do the best we can with the information we have. We're gonna make a decision, but if it's wrong, humility, right? We'll make another decision, and we'll keep going.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Humility, say, yep, that was wrong. Hungry, to say, we're gonna fix it again.
So that's the 4 core values: humble, hungry, kind, and confident. We put them all together, we have an amazing team player, and those values truly are core to us, and we see it, right? You know those people that you work with that are like, check, 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 yeah.
Yep.
That person is living out all 4. You might know somebody that's not. Well, there's always ways to help them too.
So there was one other question that was asked, and that is, how do you get promotions and how do you get raises? We just told you. There is not a cookie cutter, step-by-step guide to getting a promotion, is there?
There's just not. Like, if you do X amount of times, you get promoted. Like, that would be cool for knowing, hey, here's how I'm tracking. But truly living out these 4 core values every day. And then if we go a little bit more tactical, there's another way that will help get a promotion or even a transfer, if that's what you're looking for. I would say watch your lead or your manager or whoever you report to, and just watch them and see what they're struggling with. See what's bothering them, what might be keeping them up at night. Perform at your day-to-day operations as well as you possibly can. Just performance is undeniable. If you're performing, they're gonna know. And on top of that, this is gonna be a lot of work, it's extra work. Find out
extra work is what gets you promoted.
Yeah.
Doing the bare minimum keeps your job.
Yeah, that's cool to keep doing what you're doing. But you're looking for promotion, you're looking for a raise, find out what they might need some help with. Either you might want to ask them, but you might not either. You might just see it and start doing it for them. Say, hey, I noticed you're struggling with X a little bit, or that seems to be a lot of extra work on you. How about I take that on and watch? That will get you promoted, that will get you a raise.
And that's hungry.
That's hungry.
And it's also confident knowing that you can help somebody. So there we go. Be humble, be hungry, be kind, be confident, and be a dang good team player.
Let's go.
Let's go.